So in this one, the hands start at the heart. And exhale. And we inhale and the arms go back. We exhale and we fold. Inhale, the leg goes back. Drop your knees, sink your hips, look up. Exhale, go to what we call a cricket. With your knees, chin and chest on the floor. Inhale, come over to cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, left knee down. Inhale, sink your hips, look up. Feet together. Exhale, head down. Inhale, rise up for a back bend. And then exhale, you're back where we started. So sensation is a dance, a meditation in movement. While we got a glimpse of it in the Vikyasa, we now, at the end of the Yin, begin to see a more complete aspect of it in its tradition. And this is the most ancient of the sensation. So on the left leg, inhale, the arms go back. There's a back bend. Exhale and knee fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee drops, hips sink, we look up. Exhale to cricket. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, the knee goes down, the toes are on the floor, and then I push off my toes. Exhale, head down. Inhale, come up for the back bend. And exhale, hands to heart. Questions before we put your bodies through? Okay, stand up. We won't worry about the breath so much, so just try to do the movements first. Feet together if you can. If it's too much, that's fine. Hands at the heart. Look at your fingers and stretch your heart up. Exhale the air. Inhale, arms out. To a back bend, stretch the arms. Exhale and fold. Right leg back. Drop your knee, keep your toes, sink your tail, and when you look up, inhale. Look down, exhale, and lift the knee. Inhale, go to high push-up. Now exhale, drop your knees. Move your chest forward like you do for push-up. Bend your elbows in like a push-up, but lower your chin all the way down and your chest to the ground. Your tailbone should be up a bit. Point the toes. Inhale, come forward to a cobra. So your elbows will be bent, your legs will activate, and you send your chest forward. Curl your toes and push to down dog. Step the right foot between your hands, drop the left knee, sink your hips, and now look up again, inhale. And then because your toes are cold on the floor, you just push off of the toes. And when you step the feet, exhale, head down. Inhale, come up for the back bend. Hey, Brenna. And then exhale, circle the hands to the heart. Okay, so let's do it again on the left leg. We'll wait for you. And then inhale, arms out to the back bend. Exhale, come forward, hands down. Left leg back. Drop the knees, sink the hips, look up. Step back to the cricket, so drop both knees. Bend your elbows in, the chest is forward, the elbows point up, the chin and chest on the floor. Come forward to cobra. Push to down dog. Step your left foot. Drop the right knee, sink your hips, look up. Push off of your toes. Head down, exhale. Feet together. Come up, inhale, arms. Take the back bend. And then circle. Hands to the heart. Questions? Comments? If you have a question, ask it.
I'll figure it out.
Which one was you stuck with? The cricket?
No, I'm okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that one called?
Sensation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Classical sensation.
Okay. I thought it was Chandra Namaskar.
No, Chandra Namaskar looks different. That's
Okay.
moon salutation.
Okay.
Chandra is the moon, Surya is the sun.
Okay.
It has a similar feel
Right.
by
Okay.
stepping the knee down,
Yes.
but because it comes from the traditional Surya Namaskar,
Right.
salutation, but Chandra has a little different. A little
Okay.
more hold one place.
Because I
But it
use
has
it
a
a lot, so
filler.
I was like, oh my god, I'm doing it wrong. But it's
No, the Chandra one is
different. Okay.
Different. Similar because of the knee down,
Yeah.
but different with the energy and the breath and the other movements that go along there. Yeah, so that's it. Hands to heart, so we'll just follow along. Again, we're just warming up your body. This one is not so much for you to remember. We broke the poses down. You have more awareness of the poses. You have a video. You'll get to do this again later. Exhale. Inhale, arms out. Back bend. Exhale, forward bend. It's okay to bend the knees. Inhale, right leg back. Drop your knee as you inhale. Look up. Drop your tail. Exhale, go to high push-up. Knees, cricket, chin, and chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, sink your tail, look up. Push off your toe. Exhale, feet together, head down. Come up, inhale. For back bend. Hands to the heart, exhale. Inhale, take the arm out. Exhale, swan dive. Left leg back. Drop the knee, inhale, look up. Exhale, step back to cricket, knees, chin, and chest. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, right knee down, inhale, look up. Feet together, exhale, head down. Come up, inhale for the back bend. Make a circle, exhale. Inhale. So you're rotating the shoulders by doing the circle. Exhale, folding. Right leg back, knee down, sink. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cricket. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, left knee down, inhale, look up. Feet together, exhale, head down. Come up, inhale for the back bend. Circle, exhale. Again, inhale, hands back. Exhale, fold. Left leg back. Drop the knees, sink your tail, look up, inhale. Cricket. Exhale. Cobra, inhale. Down dog, exhale. And then come down on your knees. I don't know, you need to balance you. I just need to warm you up. So, first pose we'll do for the upper body, we'll have a feeling like it's a yin from the lower body, so that you can begin to see how you might weave them if you like. So you come forward, you curl your toes, and you sit back. And then, because this is just the lower body, right? So that's not doing much for the upper body. And so take your arms behind the back, and you can either push the fists together behind you, or you can turn your fingers down. You can grab your elbow, or one day your fingers turn up. And if 2 minutes on your toes is too much, then get up when you need to. So, based on what we looked at from teaching up until now, what do you feel you took from what I just did with the sun citation? No takers? Like, dude, I'm trying to survive. I don't want to talk to you.
There's none of like the half lift, like flat back with that sensation?
Yeah, so the half lift is part of the Surya Namaskar A and B to create strength.
Oh, okay.
This is not Surya Namaskar A and B,
It's just...
so it's just the different steps.
Okay.
So yes, so that's seeing the differences, right?
Yeah.
I see the differences between sun citations. That's
Mhm.
great. When we think of a bunch of different ways of how to do sun citation, it's all about, oh, that was the slight difference. Oh, that was the slight difference.
Yeah, I've never done that sun citation before, so...
No worries, most people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the Shivananda practice. But in modern yoga, many people seem to never do it.
Yeah.
What do you feel you took from the way teaching as opposed to the sequence? Right, sequence I'll remember, but from the teaching point of view, what do you feel you took?
It's just very simple. Inhale, this, exhale, that.
Right, the simple active-based vocabulary, right? Mm-hmm. But this one is more related. I can't just talk. I must control the breath. Because because it's breath related. But still, I still use the same simple active based vocabulary, right? Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Just 2 minutes. Oh, need the toes more. I'm gonna build these sequence for you in a certain intelligence manner that goes from the wrist up to the shoulders, up to the upper back. But how you build it when you teach, this part is beginning to show you the fact that I can just show you some paintings, and then you can either paint what I painted, or you make your own. How to make your own, I give you the suggestions. And I gave you that for the yin. Now I'm showing you some upper body. I haven't yet shown you how you weave it. But I did a little bit. See, if they do toe magic, hey, you can do the arms. So this next one is known as reverse down dog. Again, it's good for the wrist, but it starts to address the shoulder. Obviously, gray and black and white. So you just watch for a moment. Because for a lot of people, they'll never go up to down dog, and that's fine. So you start from all fours and you rotate the hand externally so the pinky turns out and then back towards the knee. And so if this is a lot already and then you just try to sit and that's it, well that's it. Just have fun. Otherwise, you'll curl your toes wider than normal and go up. Okay? Now one more word. This is a practice that uses the yin principle of no muscle work, even though I warmed you up, you're not using the muscle, and staying in a posture. These are yin principles, right? I'm not working the muscle, and I'm staying. I can talk about the meridians of the upper body because I know about them, but this is not a yin practice. And because of that, in this practice, and especially as we start to do poses that will be significantly more intense for you, even though we're only holding for 2 minutes, as you get more intense in this, exhale out of the mouth. This is not a yoga practice, so don't try to force the nose. In fact, if you breathe out of the mouth double the inhale time, even better, meaning exhale long and slow out of the mouth in these type of practices. So this is not a yoga practice, this is just showing you principles that are good for the upper body. I call it yin just because we hold them, and now I'm adding another thing in these poses that don't make it a yoga practice by letting you know that it's good to encourage the student in a very intense pose like this one. If you go all the way up to the down dog, you'll feel it, and then just exhale long out of the mouth. Okay? So you decide if your hands are just here and you're sitting, or if you're going all the way.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, if you're doing the down dog, like you don't have to try to have a long distance. You just look for something that works. See what happens when you exhale out of the mouth. And remember, if you ever have to come out before the 2 minutes, you do. There's only 5 relevant upper body yin poses that I will show you. And then in your own exploration, in your travels, or however, you might find others, and now you at least understand how to apply the principle. If you're thinking of trying to activate the yin of the body. Staying in a pose and doing your best to relax in it. 30 seconds. The poses in this practice can be held from 1 to 8 minutes. But they do strain the muscle a lot more.
Right. Save the bell. And then you shake your hands or do whatever. Some people like to press the back of the arms down. Some people like to press the wrist and lift it. Some people like to rotate. You do whatever feels good. Some questions?
So is a pose like that like good for someone with arthritis? Or is it
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, so arthritis is mismovement of connected of synovial fluid to the joint.
Yeah.
There are two ways to help synovial fluid production in the body, and one of them is taking the joint to beyond its range of motion. That's one, and then the other is movement of that range of joint to its end range of motion.
Yeah.
So I can either take you and move you through the range of motion, or I can take you to that range and keep you there to stimulate. And then the student has to. So it's less of whether it's good or not good. Of course it's good. Then the question becomes, how advanced is the arthritis? How tense are your bones? And how much discomfort you're willing to handle? And then also, and then it's good to encourage them. It's like, just look, you're not gonna just staying here 20 minutes because you think you're getting the most out of it. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, this is a gradual process. We're trying to rebuild.
Okay.
So don't ignore your tension. And then you, the teacher, kind of set the times well. You know, it's like if they've never done something like that, you know, let's start it for a minute. You know, wow, I think it feels good. I've never stretched my forearm like that. Wow, so awesome. Great. Let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
See if it works for you. And then, oh, cool, you think you do 2? Let's do 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if they get to 8, awesome. And they have no pain, fantastic. And if they got to 8, that was a process, and you would have seen whether their body is better because you're doing it, or it's not, and then stop doing it.
Yeah.
So that's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. I'll save the best for last.
I don't think
No? If you thought that was hard, wait till you see the last one. Okay, wait till you see this one. We'll save this one too then. Since you guys got freaked out by the other one. This is called shoelace. Which is funny because we have shoelace on the legs too. Or you can call it pretzel line. So just watch for a second. Some people like to enter by laying on the back, extending the arm out, taking the other arm, and rolling over. But what happens then is that you only have one arm, and maybe you only need one arm. But starting on the forearm, you can slide an arm under. And then if you need to get that arm out, that's fine. Otherwise, you would try to pretzel the arms and get both arms out. Okay, so you decide if you do one pretzel arm or both. Do both arms, so don't think you're lacking.
Are you trying to lay chest flat?
No, you're just trying to survive.
Okay.
You're trying to get your arms out through, and then your chin kind of falls in. But if you like laying on your side because your body's there, then that's what happens. The weight of the body on the arms and the shoulder will slowly stretch out your scapulas apart, the deltoid, as well as the trap toward the ends. You're also stretching your top of your biceps.
You might be stimulating your thyroid.
And then, exactly. place. Way to take some knowledge we have and using it. Oh, why? That was awesome. Please, bring it on. There's no music in the background. Yeah, it's not my favorite. But it's effective. I mean, the poses I'll show you are very effective. But they're not easy. If I know you, then I start using yin for the upper body in the class. But if I don't really know you, then I don't, because even in the very beginning, let's say I do know you and we've done yin, I'll still start with 1 minute because I know how hard these poses are. But they're good. And it's not that I'll use all of the 5 that I'll show you, but I can experiment if I see the students regularly. Or if I just want to, or if they have done and they tell me that they do yin a lot and it's obvious that they can relax and they listen, then it's like, well, you know what, let's shake your world apart with upside down dog. And if I have the wall, you know, the last pose, Superman or Superwoman, if I don't have a wall, I can't do it. So, oh.
That actually felt good.
There you go, see? There you go. So, there you go. Some people like it, some people don't. Like cheese.
Let's not freak out. He comes up and I'm in that position.
Alright, so take your time, but then we gotta do the other side. So, hopefully you remember which arm went down first.
Your palm is down, right?
Yeah, so one arm went under the shoulder first, and then the other arm went. So you want the other arm going under the shoulder first so that the other arm is in front of you. Because you want to do both arms. No, life is a big circus, according to one master. Just one big cosmic joke, he would say. And we take it so seriously, so unfortunately the joke is in us. Now, the circus was in town, and at the end of their performance, the zebra fell sick. So the circus owner left the zebra at a farm nearby. The next morning, the zebra woke up and started to check out its new environment. It saw a chicken, so he walked up to the chicken, and he looked at the chicken and said, "Good morning, I'm a zebra. What are you?" And the chicken looked up at the zebra and said, "I'm a chicken." And the zebra said, "Well, what do you do?" And the chicken said, "Well, I get seeds and lay eggs." And the zebra kept walking. Saw a cow. Went up to the cow and said, "Good morning, I'm a zebra. What are you?" And the cow goes, "I'm a cow." And the zebra asked, "Well, what do you do?" And the cow goes, "Well, I eat grass and give milk." So the zebra kept walking, and he saw up on the hill this thing. So he walked up, and he looked at the thing and said, "Good morning, I'm a zebra. What are you?" And the bull said, "I'm a bull." And the zebra said, "Well, what do you do?" And the bull said, "Why don't you take off your pajamas and I'll show you." That's the bell. That's the bell. You can get out now. So that's pretzel arms. You can decide what it's good for. Some people. So these poses stretch your shoulders. They create space in the head of the shoulder. And then some people feel it other places. This is obviously a stretching out of your scapulas, so what we call protraction, moving the scapulas away from one another. This next one will move your scapulas towards one another, retraction. If you can see me, then you just need to prop yourself up. If you can't, then you'll have to sit all the way up. So one arm goes, you're laying on the belly, and your arm goes out with the shoulder. So look at it. Line on the shoulder, hand flat. Wait. And then you roll on it. So then you take your other arm, and you can bend the leg, and you start to roll. And some people, this is it. They're like, oh my God. Then again, if you need to put a block for your head, that's okay. Otherwise, you can let it hang to stretch the neck. But if you don't want to stretch the neck, don't worry about it. But then you'll have to get up and go get a block. Otherwise, so again, but over time, you'll roll, and then your other arm can lift. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then over time, you can actually roll all over and get the arm all the way across to the other arm. And then your head does what it does. You can look up, reaching down. Again, if you really want a block to rest it on, then you avoid the neck stretch, which again, this is not for the neck secondary. It's the rolling on the shoulder and stretching the front of the shoulder head, the pack, and compressing the back of the shoulder head, the rhomboid region between the scapulas.
If you look to the left, a little bit more stretch.
Yeah, I mean, if you play with the head, you can feel different types of stretches. And so the joke is relevant because it points out our own constant seeking of an answer to who are we. This man walked into a shoe shop one day and he sees another man holding himself from the ceiling by one arm. Shocked, he goes to the shop owner and he says, "What's up with that guy? He's hanging in the ceiling." And the shop owner looks at the customer and he says, "Oh, that dude. That guy, he thinks he's a light bulb." The customer asks, "Why don't you tell him he's not?" And the shop, surprised, looks at the customer and says, "Are you kidding me? You want me to work in the dark?" You get it?
I think we'll stay on this side. Second 2 minutes.
There you go.
Who else has jokes? Come on. Someone's got a good joke.
I'll decide when you're ready. You feel all jammed up or something? Just think you're a strawberry. 2 strawberries in the field, one goes to the other, she says. If we were not so sweet, we would not be in this jam.
No.
Well, she says the laughter is the language of the gods. He points out that if you ever see a buffalo laugh, you'd freak out.
The buffaloes laugh.
They smile, but they don't laugh. If you saw one laughing, you'd have a heart attack. Just a human being laughs. It's a very innately human experience, laughing. Smiling is not, but laughter is. In a moment of deep laughter, you are in that space of presence. But you know, they say that when you tell a joke to an English person in England, they smile to be polite. And then at midnight they wake up laughing when they get the joke. You tell a joke to a German person and they're so serious, they just smile. They laugh politely. You tell a joke to a Jew and they stop you halfway telling you, hey, I already heard this joke. Besides, you're telling it all wrong. I'm out.
That's my mother-in-law. Hers is. I've already heard this story. Oh, you haven't heard that part. You haven't heard this part.
Right, I was both arms.
She was. Scheduled surgery.
Upper body and so good for you.
Are you okay, right?
Yeah.
You hope so. Alright. That's the last.
More.
Yeah, one more.
Commercial. But wait, there's more.
It's the wall one.
So this one is close to the wall. This one you need to see if you can't see. So just come over, watch. So I come by the wall, and I kind of lift myself, and I look at the wall, and I hope I survive. And then I get down, and now that I have the wall, I take my arms up the wall. Now I don't have a lot of wall here, but if I did, I'd walk up more, and then I'd relax. If I was too close, my head would hit the wall, I'd have to move back a bit. But notice my arms are wider than the shoulders, and then I get to hang. Remember yesterday I was telling you about Anahata? Heart opening in Yin? I'm like, well, might as well do this one. It's better.
Yeah, they would hate that.
What?
They would hate that pose.
It's okay. It's good for you. Yeah, but yeah, most people hate this one. Okay, it's called Superwoman or Superman.
Just jack these mirrors up.
Yeah.
You can't jack him up more than I did.
Yeah. Not gonna break him.
I
not with this one. Not with this time.
have definitely broken this mirror.
Yeah, I heard you fell on it.
That was my butt, actually. And I didn't really fall, it like somersaulted.
Oh.
Not on purpose.
So you bend wider than the shoulders? There you go, Randy. There you go. Alright, everyone looks in Superman or Superwoman. 2 minutes, can't hold it 2 minutes, get out. No one's gonna hold it against you. It's good for the scapula, the pec, creating range of motion in the last movement of the scapula, which is pressing backwards with the help of the arm. That will give you a sensation that your upper back opens up. Really what you're opening, if you think a bit, is L1 and T12. This man, he once fell out of an airplane. Fortunately, the man had a parachute. Unfortunately, the parachute was not opening.
You're not
teacher. Fortunately, there was a big stack of hay where he was gonna land. Unfortunately, there was a pitchfork. Fortunately, he missed. Ouch. Fortunately, he missed the pitchfork. Unfortunately, he also missed the haystack.
Is that bad, good or bad luck? Well, is it good luck or is it bad luck?
You want fortunate or unfortunate? But if you ask for just one, it's the opposite.
My feet sweat.
That one's a doozy, huh? So these are the 5 upper body yin poses that I have for you. Before I show you something with a partner, and then we'll continue with that. Let's see if you have any comments or insight, thoughts, or questions.
About the jokes? Or... I thought it actually feels good. It's just feels good initially, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready for it to be over.
That was only 2 minutes. Ideally, we go to 5. You know, the 8 is like crazy people. 2 is like, oh my god, I've never done that. I don't think I can do it. And sometimes even just 1. You know?
Like you said, I feel like you really have to know your class and your students to be able to do poses like that.
Yes.
You don't want them to hate you.
Right. I mean, again, remember, fuck you. That's my only fuck you in my life.
That's really the only time anybody's ever told you that.
To my face.
To my face in class.
I was thinking it just now.
Yeah, I know people think it.
No, I was thinking how easily we all just like, okay. No one said, no, I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah, no, they always try. Like, oh, especially when you show them, it's like, see, you can do it. If you can do it, I can do it. I can do it better. And they're like, oh.
Peer pressure.
No, so that helped kind of give you. Well, you can find this in books. You know, this is. I'll send you the little video. But let's freak you out a little bit. Are you ready? Will you stand right here? No. You saw yesterday, right? The video yesterday showed you the scapula anatomy, right?
Right, shoulder.
Right, where the shoulder blade is. So you can, right? You can tell where my shoulder blade is.
Yep.
Right. Awesome. You stand by the side over here. Just side next, just well, there you go, right there. So again, if you can't see it, you come. So I'm gonna come down and put my elbow against the wall, and put my elbow in line with my shoulder. And I'm gonna spread my fingers wide and point my third finger straight up. And then I'm gonna wiggle myself as I push my elbows in towards each other and into the wall, and then down towards the ground. Then I'm going to tell Randy to put his hands on the window and put one foot on my right scapula over here, and then the other foot on my left scapula over here. Don't be afraid, dude. Just
Okay.
Alright.
there you go. And if you want to stretch your arms up, feel free.
I'm gonna go.
Awesome, thank you. So after your 5 breaths, the other person has other stuff to do in their life. Okay, this just begins to show you interplay between you and the body.